Hello and welcome everyone. It's time for a knitting update. Before we get started on those updates, I just want to update you all on Fig. If you watched my last video and commented, I want to say thank you so much for all of the get well wishes. Fig, who is a greyhound, he had 5 seizures, 4 of them were back to back. It was this very scary ordeal, and he's actually doing super well. He seems to be 100% back to normal. We're not entirely sure if he has eyesight in one eye still, or if he's just getting used to navigating his space better with a blind eye. We're having trouble. We'll do like tests where we see if his eye responds, but it's pretty inconsistent. So we really don't know actually, but he's doing really well and he hasn't had any seizures since. So that's all wonderful. And thank you again so much for all of the love and support. So lots of things that I want to talk about. I don't have much to show. I have one thing finished. That is this hat here. This is the Coquette. It's a beret from the 52 weeks of Easy Knits, which I talked about in my last knitting update. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this hat. I don't know if it's going to be a hat that I grab and gravitate to. I love wearing my beanies so much more, and I just don't know if this is going to be the hat that does it for me. So I'm a little disappointed with that part of it. I also had some struggles with it. I will say that this was super fun to knit and I had a great time. So at least the journey was well worth it. The final product is like, I don't know. It's hard to tell right now because it's still a million degrees outside. And even though the lighting is changing and our bodies and our minds are preparing for fall, it's still very much summer here and it's really hot. We just had 112 degrees the other day and it's like kind of, we'll talk about that in just a moment. I'm not going to dwell on it. It's a little bit of a bummer though. Anyways, so maybe once it's cold and I get a chance to actually wear some of these knits, maybe I'll find myself really liking this. As of now, I'm kind of like, meh, I don't know. I don't know if I really like it that much. So the fiber that I used is Junie Moon Patagonia. And it was a very like delicate fiber, and it broke apart a couple of times throughout knitting this, including at the very end when I was supposed to do the I-cord bind off. And I was really looking forward to the I-cord bind off because that would have been a new technique for me. And then it broke and I had to improvise. So I made a little loop instead, which is quite adorable. And the hat still functions, but I was a little bummed. The other thing that happened is when I blocked this hat, the headband here, the ribbed headband stretched out a whole lot and it was just massive on my head. And I was like, oh no, it's a disaster. And then my friend reached out and she's like, I have a solution. I think I have a solution. Here's what you need to do. Run elastics through the inside of the headband. And she was like, in fact, I'm home all day and I happen to have elastics. So if you want to come on over and fix your hat, feel free. And so I did. And here we go, 3 elastics through the inside, and it definitely helped a ton. And so now it at least has the shape again and I can wear it as a hat. For a moment there, I was like, maybe it will become like a bag because it just was so enlarged. It was kind of ridiculous. So that's the hat. I also have been knitting a pair of socks that my friend, the same friend, I would really like her to be in a video in the future. And she already said she would be willing to do that. I just don't know what direction to take it in. I don't know, like, I'm not very good at interviewing and I don't know, like, I don't know how to work it out and what to do, but I think it would be really fun if I had a guest because I don't think I've ever done that on this channel. Anyway, she also gave me this DRK Everyday socks. This is an Andrea Mowry pattern, which I'm I am now obsessed with Andrea Mowry, and I want to do everything she's ever put out. It's terrible. But I'm working on the second sock now, and I'm at so it's a toe-up sock. They look really funky. Trust me, this is a sock. It doesn't look like a sock. Knit socks, hand knit socks, I feel like are just generally odd looking. But this one is especially odd looking. Anyways, it's a toe up. I'm now at the gusset, and then I'll be doing the heel, and then I'll be wrapping it up. So we're very close to having a second sock. Here is the first one. This is also a yarn that my friend gave me. She spoils me so. And I forget what it is, but it's a beautiful fiber, and it's so much fun to work with because it has these little speckles of color throughout. And so it's like, ooh, what color is going to appear now? And then at the very end, I finished it off with a farmer's daughter fiber, and I can't remember what it is. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll post all this stuff down below in the description. I just don't, my brain, I feel it's been a really long week, and I feel a little lacking in the cerebral department. So anyways, I think that these, we'll see, but I think these might become my favorite socks that I've made so far. This is my third sock pattern. So I've tried 3 different sock patterns at present, and I have worn the heck out of the socks that I've already knit, which is really exciting. In fact, I'm gonna go get them real quick. So like I've said, it's the heat. The summer has just been dragging on, and so many of the knits that I've created over the last several months, I've just not had an opportunity to wear and experience, except for my socks, which is why I am in such a sock mode right now, because this is the one knit that I can actually wear all year around, and that makes me really happy. So this is the very first pair of socks that I ever knit. This is from the 52 Weeks of Easy Knits book. I think they're probably very similar, if not the same, as the vanilla socks that I have heard a lot about. I don't know for sure though. And then these are the Pearl Soho boot socks, which are a much fatter yarn. I still don't know. I think this is worsted and this is like sock weight. I'm still learning all of this terminology. There's a lot to learn in regards to knitting, and both work really well. I like how thick and fluffy these ones are, and they really do feel nice in a boot. I like my socks to kind of fill out the space a little bit, and these ones are quite thin, so I don't wear them as often with my boots. They're starting to wear, you could see little like fluffy bits and some pilling and some discoloration or rubbing spots where it's rubbed a lot. And when I first made these socks, because I put so much time into them and I was so proud of them, I was a little bit afraid to wear them because I knew wearing them would wear them out. And I finally let that go because I'm putting a lot of time into these. I might as well enjoy them. And so I have been, and I love wearing them, and I feel so proud. And it's like my little secret, because most people don't even notice that I'm wearing socks or that I made them. And it's just like this special little thing, like, yeah, I know I made these. So that's where we're at. That was a long ramble. I have so much more that I want to talk about. I'm rambling on for way too long. In an update for my sweater vest, this is the Diamond Twill vest from the 52 Weeks of Easy Knits book, and I have not made any progress since my last knitting video. I am so sad. I'm sorry to say, I've just been obsessed with those socks. I took a break with the hat, and I just haven't been feeling that inspired. I've already pulled this out and restarted. This is where I left off the first time. And so the next step will be all kind of new to me. It's a bottom up. I will admit that I am a little bit concerned about the fit of this. I think the size will be fine, but I'm a little bit concerned about how it'll actually look on my body, and whether it will be flattering or whether it will feel wearable or something that I'll want to wear. It's a lot of work and it takes a lot of time. I want to finish this because I don't want to leave this unfinished. I want to see it through. I've made a commitment already. I've invested in the yarn. I've already put in a lot of time. So I definitely want to finish it. I think I needed to take a little step back and kind of muster up some courage a bit. One of the things that I'm realizing is that, so I started knitting October of last year. Truly, I learned like as a little kid, but I feel like that doesn't count. I started learning in October. And so when I first started, I just wanted to consume everything and learn as much as I could and just feed me more, give me more. And I was like a kid in a candy shop where it was like, I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that. Not really knowing what I would like to wear, what I'd like to work with, what I would like to knit. I just wanted to explore and kind of like find my way a little bit, find the boundaries of what I'm capable of or what I'm willing to do, and so on and so forth. And so I was less selective about the patterns that I picked. I just wanted something that felt approachable to me at the time to be able to knit. And so I have made several things now at this point, but a lot of them aren't necessarily things that I'm really excited to be wearing, or I don't like the fit. I don't like the colors that I chose, or I don't like, just little things like I wish I had picked a different pattern because I feel like maybe for my body type that isn't the most flattering, or maybe that's not something that I would wear. That's not practical for me. I do a lot of hiking. I do a lot of camping. I want things. Knitwear isn't like maybe the best thing because especially out here in the desert where everything has claws and needles and snags and we do a lot of bushwhacking, and so maybe I should just give up. Like, I don't need a sweater for those things. I have other clothes that I can wear, but there's a part of me that wants to be able to wear everything that I make all the time for every purpose. And so now I'm in a little bit of a knitting lull because I'm trying to suss out what do I actually want to wear? What will actually be wearable and practical and fit my lifestyle and fulfill my needs and be a color that I want to wear and work with? And there's millions and millions of patterns and yarns to choose from. And I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed and a little bit petrified and a little bit stuck because I can't make any decisions right now because I'm past the point of just wanting to consume. I'm now in the space in my knitting journey in which I want to be more intentional, more selective, find my knitting path and figure out what I actually want to invest my time in and what I actually want to invest my money in. So I don't honestly know what is next. I'm kind of tempted to, I know I like beanies. I like beanies a whole heck of a lot. And when the weather permits, I will wear a beanie every single day for the months that I can wear them. Once it hits maybe 85, I'll be like, I think this will be cool enough to wear beanies, even though it probably won't, but I really want to wear beanies. So I know beanies are a good option. I also know I really like net cowls. Once it gets cold, I always have like just a small little circular cowl or a bandana or a silk scarf. I like having something small on my neck that I don't have to fuss with and like adjust and make sure it's tied correctly or the ends are falling in the right place. I just want something that's really simple. And so I've picked a couple of things, all of which are from Andrea Mowry, because I told you earlier already that I am a little bit obsessed. I like her style. I like her patterns. I love the colors she chooses. And for me, I don't want to be a copycat, but also it's really nice to find a pattern I like and also like the yarn that the pattern maker used, because sometimes selecting the colors myself is so overwhelming, and then I can't make a decision because I'm like, well, I like this color and I like this color and I like this color and what about this color? And so just like not having any choices is really helpful. So anyways, I like the yarns that she's using. And then I thought maybe, even though I just said I don't like fussing about with like a big scarf, I like just really simple scarves that I don't have to worry about. There is a, what are these called? Gosh, I feel like so many people in the knitting community knit these. It's like one of the things that you do. A shawl. That's what it is. A big, giant, triangular piece of material. And so I'm kind of tempted, like maybe it's just time to try something really new that's out of my comfort zone that I might end up really enjoying wearing. So here are, and the pictures are not, the rest of it is my journal. So anyways, the pictures are kind of dark. This is, let's see. Okay, so this is the shawl. It's hard to tell what it is. I'll just post a link down below to all of these things. And hopefully my camera will focus. There's the cowl. This is a colorwork cowl, and then 2 beanies. And then I think I want to take a little bit of a break from sweaters. I think I need to do things that I know I'll wear for sure and kind of like reassess what I want to wear as a sweater before I invest in a lot of time. But I have loved this DRK everyday sweater for so long, and it just, my eyes always gravitate toward it in my Ravelry favorites. So I feel like that's an inevitable sweater that I'd like to do, but one thing at a time. I am also, oh my gosh, this video is getting so long, but I'm also really trying to organize my finances, save money, pay off debt, and so I really have to stop just hemorrhaging money. And I'm really tempted to just buy all the yarns for all of these projects, which would be a lot of money. And I can't do that. So I want to like have maybe one project, buy the yarn for one project, work on that until I'm nearing the end, then buy yarn for the next project, and so on and so forth, so that I'm not spending my paycheck all at once. And I'm also finishing what I'm starting. So those are my knitting plans. That was my super, super duper rambly video. Did I even mention that I have, like I've set up more of a knitting space in my office? I'm just gonna pan over, see if my camera will focus on this wall over here. But I have some needles, I have some pattern books, I have my Swift hanging over here. There. Now that I've pointed, it's focused on me. And then I have a ball winder up there at the top. Focus camera, there we go. And so this is kind of like my new little knitting center in my office. Oh yeah, my other needles are there too, but okay. I'm gonna go. This video has been way too long already. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I can post this video. Sometimes when my videos get too long, my camera just completely glitches out. So I may or may not see you. Bye.